Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about how to make an input file for the HEC-RAS 2D as a boundary condition, for example, a discharge hydrograph or a stage hydrograph or any DSS file, or using the software named HEC-DSSVue, which is a software for all HEC-RAS, all HEC models to generate the DSS files or data files. So I will show you, for example, a project. So I have a project here. I have so many runs from before, so I just put them here. So I have a generated run from before that you can see how to make a model from my HEC-RAS. Also, there are some videos for flow and sediment modeling. And after that, if you are coming to the edit unsteady flow data, we introduce a boundary condition for upstream and downstream. For example, in this project, for the upstream, I introduce flow hydrograph, and for the downstream, we introduce normal depth. So for the flow hydrograph, if you open your hydrograph, you can see the results here. And if you plot it, you can see the results or the data that we use for the upstream boundary condition. It's a hydrograph with a data time interval of 1 minute. So if we want to give the HEC-RAS an input file, an already generated input file, we should use the DSS file format. And for that, we should go to this part, read from DSS before simulation, and then select a file format, which I try to introduce to you today. But first, why we need this DSS file? So there are so many reasons. For example, you have already file that you want to upload it. Maybe it's easier for you, or you want to extract a file from HEC-RAS and share it with others. Or another option, for example, if you want to have a long-term modeling, sediment modeling or morphodynamic modeling, and flow modeling, you need, for example, to use the acceleration factor. And if you want to use the acceleration factor, as you can see, for example, we have a 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours time interval. So how can I introduce a discharge hydrograph for a time interval of 1 hour and 30 seconds? Or here, if I want to introduce 11 minutes, what should I do? You know, the time between these values. Or for example, if we have 1 minute here, if I want to introduce a discharge hydrograph with a time interval of 1 minute and 30 seconds, so what should I do? Here we can just adjust it based on the options that we have here. So for this case, we can use this software named HEC-DSSVue. We just write this HEC-DSSVue on your browser, and then you can download it from. This is the information that you have here. As I always recommend you can use the HEC-RAS manuals, HEC-RAS tutorials, which are the best. And then you can download the release version of HEC-DSS software here for your machine, for example, for Windows. I download this one. And if you download it, then you download a zip file. And if you unzip it, then you have these files in your folder. So this is the HEC-DSSVue, and then you have this. So as you can see, the application is this one. And if you open it, you have a software like this that I will introduce to you how to work with this. And if in the help, you can look at the about, and also you can look at the help like the whole HEC softwares. So in this case, we need to introduce a new file and then follow the steps and change the um, file that we want or make a new file that we want. So for this, I have a suggestion to go to your model. For example, these are my models. For example, I use this one. So this is the files of HEC-RAS that you save. For example, I make a model here for plan 19.1, and then I save it, and before the run or after the run, I have these information here. So as you can see, there is a DSS file here, which is your input data for the boundary condition. So we need the DSS file from the project just to show you. I can search for it like .dss and then enter. You can see we have one DSS file which is from the project that I run before. So I can just copy it. Copy it here. So the goal is to make a DSS file as an input discharge hydrograph with a time interval of, for example, 1 minute and 30 seconds, for example, for a new hydrograph. So for this, you can use the software that I showed you before and start a new version and then add the values in it. But to have a better understanding of the file, the DSS file, and see how is the format of the DSS file for the HEC-RAS, I suggest to first extract your DSS file from previous project like this one, and then open it with the HEC-DSS software to see what is the format of that. So I go to the software and then open this for this is desktop and then open this. So here we have the files and path name for them. For example, the path name is BC line seek whose DS, fellow, and the date, and 1 hour is the time duration, and these information here. So I can open it as an Excel format here. So I should first select them. So you can see here the file that I have. So then I can make a save as from it on the desktop again. So now I have a Excel file from the DSS file of HEC-RAS or Excel file of the input discharge hydrograph as a boundary condition of a HEC-RAS. As you can see, the format is like this: A, B, C, E, F, which are the path name, and then unit and type and the date and the discharge values. So this is the format of the DSS file, and we should uh, make a file like this. So now, for example, as you can see, this is 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, okay? Then imagine we want to have a 1 hour and 30 minutes. So we just need to find the value of it. For example, you can so this is the date with 1 hour and 30 minutes difference. So for example, you can just go to the format cell and then change it to the, for example, general or text. So this is the value for these two dates that we want. So this difference, this minus this. So this is the equal value for 1 hour and 30 minutes differences. So we can have this plus these differences here, like as you can see, we have a 1 hour and 30 minutes differences. So in this way, easily we can make a 1 hour and 30 minutes differences. So if you want another value like 30 seconds, you can just do the same thing here. Just copy paste this value and then change change it to your desired date and time, and then find the differences value which represents for Excel file, and then add it here. So I don't need this, and I delete it because, as you know, each date you can see this cell as a date and time, but actually in the HEC-RAS, in the Excel coding, it defines with a value, as you can see uh, here. So this is the value represents the 18th of May 2018, time of 0 or 24. And this is represents for this time and date. So now we have a file. So for example, I need to, uh, if you want, you can change these, but I just keep these values. And I just change this to 1, 1. or just keep it as the same. And then I save it. So this is my previous run. I just open another one that we can work on it today. So this is the run that I have, and this is the Excel file. So for starting to make a DSS file, a new DSS file that we want to use it for a HEC-RAS. So we need some data that we have here. So we have a column for the date and time, and we have a column for the discharge values. You can change it to whatever you want, the desired date, desired value. For example, you can use it as a stage discharge, a stage values. Okay, so from the beginning, now we want to make a new file. So this is for version 6. I can open it like this. This is for version 6 and this is for version 7. So I use the last version of it. And now I need to introduce a new file, for example, course, HEC-RAS course 1. And then create it. So now I have a new file and I just removed the previous one. So I make a new file. Now I need to add values there. So we have some options here that you can check all of them as they are easy. I don't talk about them. For example, for the display. But the one that you need is to uh, tools data entry. You can add manual time series, you can add manual paired data and manual text here. But for this case, we should import from our file. So you can use different options here. For example, if you need a time series data, you can import it here. For water level text file, you can use this. River gauge, and there are different types that I think it's easy to understand if you just watch this video and then wants to use another part of this, it's really easy for you. So I just keep it as short as possible, the video. So for example, we can use Excel or we can use Excel import beta or text from file. All of them is possible. But as we save it as an Excel file, I think it is more easy and more user-friendly to use Excel. And this is our Excel file, and I just open it. So you can see we have these files here. This is A, path name B, C, E, F, and units. So first you should know that each DSS file in HEC-RAS or each input hydrograph or boundary condition file for HEC-RAS, it needs a path name. The path name has like some parts. For example, the part A, you have a specific name. The part B, you have a specific name, C, E, F, and the rest that I will show you in the rest of the video. And one reason that I say it is better to first save an example from HEC-RAS is that you have already these values, because then you know, okay, what should I put for A? What should I put for B? These are based on the project that you prepared from before. So I just suggest to first save as your DSS file from your previous run in HEC-RAS and then save it as an Excel file that I show you some minutes ago. And then continue the steps to be here. So now the most important part of this software is how to introduce these. So first, if you click here and then right click, you can skip rows. So if you choose this, the software didn't read this row, or if you unskip it, or if it is included in a path name part row, you have A, B, C, E, F, or it is unit row. So you can just name it as A, this as a B, this as a C. This one we don't have it, just skip it. This one is F. And this one is the unit. And this one we don't have it, just skip it. And then use this column. So this is our date and time. So right click on this column, date time column, and then find the best option which match your data. So we use date and time column, so we should use this one, but if you have just date or time, just use another one. And then click on this. Then we have a data here, and then use set data column. So after that, automatically you can see there is a path name here and with the date. And this is your path name, which is the most important thing. And this is the start date, start time, unit, and the different type of your data, which I will explain about these later. So for example, by mistake, I use this as a skip line. So I just cancel it and then go to path name and put it at the unskip it. Then you can put it as a, or just if it is simple, more simple, use like this and then skip the rows. And then this is date column and this is set data. So now you have this. So for this, just go to your, this is the reason that I said first extract a sample file. So I copy the A and then paste it here. Okay, and just be careful about this. If this is not matched with your data, just change it. For example, I start from the beginning of 18th of May, so this is the end of the 17th of May. Your unit can be anything that you want, or just introduce it from here because it's a sample one and we are sure it is the correct one. And then about your time interval. So if, as you can see, this is IR is the abbreviation for irregular day, irregular month, irregular year, decade, century, 1 min, 2 min, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, for example, 10 minutes, or 1 day, 1 week. You have different options. But as we use the day, so it is better to use irregular day. If you just your scale is about the week or year, then you can use. So we can use this one and then continue, or you can also delete it and see and continue and see what's happened. If you don't have any problem, then just delete it. But other way, it is good to use irregular day for this case. So for the type, according to the sample that we extract from HEC-RAS, we know we should use by confidence this one inst val. But if you want to know more about this data, you can see, for example, here inst val is the instantaneous value, which is a single record value at a specific time that, for example, we have for a discharge measurement. Per value is a period average, its average value over a time interval. Per com, for example, is period cumulative, cumulative sum over a time interval, or instantaneous cumulative, or inst cum is running total up to a specific time. So it depends on your project, on your goal, to which one do you want to use, but I recommend to use this one, especially as we normally use a single value measured in the gauge stations. Okay, so we define everything here and everything is in order, and then we can also change this. So import now, you can see we have one data set imported, close import table or return the table. So I close it now. We have some data or results here. As you can see, all of them is for this day. So you can select all of them or just one of them to see your results. But you can select all of them, and then you can see for different part, it has different data. Or in this graph, you can see the table that we have. So in this case, it's separated for each day. So for 18th of May, you have different data sets like this. Or you can use this graph. In this graph, you can use these options. For example, estimate a missing value, add data, delete data. Or here you have a data validation editor. That for our case, we don't need it, but if you want to work more on your data, it's a really good tools here. Or you can open a file. So this is the file that you make. But there is a problem here, actually. Maybe your goal is to separate the values for each day like this for 18, 19, 20. But in our case, I would like to have all of them in one column because I want to introduce them for as an input in HEC-RAS. So we can see that from 17 or 18 till 27th of May we have data. So to solve this issue, or if you don't want it, just come here from the specific time window, set time window, then a specific time window from 17th of May to 24 hours, and then it is till 27th 1930. And then, okay. Then I close these previous Excel files and then open the new one, and you can see we solved this issue. So if you have any problem with the time, just use set time window. This is happen sometimes because of the way that we introduce the path name, or because the time interval that we have, or we use no time window. So easily you can come here and specific time window and then change it. So you can see, for example, all of them. If you use this, you have from 18 till 27th of May, you have these discharge hydrograph data, and also you can see the unit here. Or if I can open it, you can see the data here and you can evaluate it. So you can also use other options here, for example, graphical edit, validation edit, duplicate, delete, and other things here. And you have some view options that I think it's easy and everyone can discover these options. My goal is just to explain this, that you have enough knowledge or you are familiar now with how to work with HEC-DSS software and how to extract a DSS file from HEC-RAS and how to make a new DSS file. But it's easy to evaluate these. For example, you can use it as a pie chart, or it depends to your data, or group them, or if you want to export it, you can use it. You have tools to compare, for example, a script editor. A script editor is also interesting. Is if you want to make a change, it's a little more professional. But if you want to make a change by a script, you can come here and then go into the scripts and write the code and change it, and then uh, extract the data by changing the script. It is very interesting, but it is a little more professional, and you need to be a little familiar how to write a script. And yeah, find peaks, for example. These options you can use. There is a specific value for peaks, so I don't need them. In the collections, you have different options. For example, minimum marks of collection, a script that I introduced to you before, and then advanced, debug, bug, and then about and help. If you go to the help, you can see the HEC-DSSVue user manual, and you can search and read it. As I always explain in my all HEC-RAS videos on my YouTube channels, for example, here is my channel that I really appreciate for your support, for like, subscribe and put it as a all. In all of them, for example, the HEC-RAS videos here, in all of them I mention, or if you're going to the playlist, you can find all of HEC-RAS here. In all of them, I explain that please use the user manual and the data that you have, or the information, the reports that you have from the HEC-RAS itself. It's really good and useful. Here for this software also, you can go through the HEC-DSS user manual and read it. It's really good. You can evaluate and see everything. And then in some points that you need more information, you just need to search, for example, on YouTube. For example, look at my videos or other source of videos on YouTube, or just ask some people who are familiar with this software. For example, just ask it in the comments. I will reply. Anyway, so this is the manual that you can use. So I explain everything for this, everything that is necessary for you in HEC-RAS DSS software for you, and then we save the file and we can close it. So you can close the DSS file from here or just close the software from here. So now we have this DSS file here, and I want to introduce it to our HEC-RAS model. So this is our HEC-RAS model that we have it from before in the folder of HEC-RAS course. So for example, I'm going to the sediment data. I just open the sediment data, everything like as before that you have, and I explain on my videos. For example, then for the unsteady flow data, I should come here and you introduce upstream, downstream, and then for the upstream, just go to this part. So we don't need this section. I just delete it. So we have a new DSS file and we want that HEC-RAS use this DSS file. So we should tick the read from DSS before simulation and then select DSS file and path. So here we can introduce the DSS file. So I just remove this by this option and then add the new one. So the new one is on the desktop, I think is this HEC-RAS course 1 DSS file, and then I open it. If you did everything correctly and your file is correct, then you have these data here. Is a HEC-RAS course 1 irregular time series. This is important for us. Path part A, part B, part C, and the rest that you have the unit. It is not matter you use this one or not. So we have these data, and then we should use OK. First, we should select it, and then OK. So you can see your file is on this location, and the path, which is very important, is this. If you have a problem with the path, then you have some problems. And then OK. So now we introduce the upstream boundary condition, a fellow hydrograph, which is from our generated DSS file. You can also use plot data. This is the plot data that we have. Or you can see on the table, it is each 1 hour and 30 seconds. For example, I use it for each 1 minute and 30 seconds. And then you can see the end of the date here. So for run this, we are going to the run on a steady flow analyze. As I said, everything is on my other videos, how to model flow 1D, 2D, how to model sediment or morphodynamic of a river 2D, how to define or edit the topography, how to define mesh size, how to define sediment distribution curve. Everything is on my other videos that you can see. Then we are going to the run on a steady flow analyze. So we have this, and the end date is 18 May. Okay, this is not the end date. We can check it from here. So the end date is 27. And the time, we can use it as 19. And then use the exact hydrograph output interval, mapping output interval, and the other parts that I explain in other videos on my channel, and then compute. So you have a error, DSS time series data didn't cover the simulation range. So the last time series point as 16. So it's just need to change this and then use compute. You can see it's going to simulate based on our data. Uh, as I just ask for some other variable outputs, I have these things here and I just have a warm up for the simulation that you can see here. Everything is explained. So this video is just for how to use HEC DSS software and how to make a DSS file as an input file for HEC-RAS. So I hope it is useful for you and you enjoy it. So please don't forget to uh, like and subscribe my channel. And if you like or if you have any question, just write it in the comment. I will be reply to you soon. And if I can, I will be happy to help you.